My name is Dean Carvin. I'm with Checkpoint Technologies. I'm the Director of Professional Services. And here at Quest this year, I spoke on a topic near and dear to my heart, developing test automation frameworks. And the idea behind test automation frameworks is to develop a methodology and process for developing automated tests where you leverage the power and the resources in-house, that of the manual testing team. So developed properly, a framework can utilize their expertise on the tools, and a person who's non-technical can create the automated tests using a simple front end via Excel, whatever it happens to be. The other idea behind a well-developed framework is to minimize the maintenance. So it's all about shift left testing, developing quick scripts faster, minimizing the maintenance, so when something changes, you have one point of change in your process, in your automation framework. It updates all those tests that utilize that process that's been modified.
My name is Clinese Cheney, and at the Quest conference this year I spoke about transforming your organization, building in world-class quality. And so when you think about all of the changes that are happening now in terms of the rapid pace of technology, the rapid pace of trying to get to market on time, all of the changes that we face as developers, QA people in that whole product development life cycle. There's lots of things that are occurring, and we're noticing that we need to be more agile and more nimble, and things are sort of shifting toward the left. And so what's our response to shifting toward the left? If you're an organization and you're beginning to look at your organization and say, well, I can't keep pace with what's going on, so I need to evaluate and assess and look at what I can do better. Or if you're an organization and you said, I'm looking for best-in-class quality. I really need to see how I can move my organization so that no one's doing quality any better than we are. Along that range, beginning to all the way to the end, it's a journey. And so that journey is what I talked about in my presentation. How do you go from a transformation, from a small transformation, all the way to a large transformation at an organizational level in terms of trying to improve your quality?
My name's Sean Bradshaw with Zenergy Technologies, and I did a talk today called The Tester Story, Painting the Picture of Risk. The summary of that is, as testers, we are in a position to discuss things that are not always easy to talk about. They are, bugs, defects, issues, problems, and what we really need to do and be cognizant of as testers is how we approach people, particularly developers and stakeholders, when we're delivering bad news. So what I talked about was, of course, in doing all that, what are some of the key traits and what are some of the ways that we can improve how we communicate these types of issues so that developers trust us, so that the project stakeholders listen to us when we do have an issue. One of the things, the key items that I talked about was being positive in how you deliver the information, trying to put a positive spin. Don't be, chicken little, the sky is falling, or don't cry wolf if it's not really a problem. Hold back and make sure you have a real issue, and then really be cognizant when you're talking to developers that when you are discussing a bug with the developer, you're talking about something that they put a lot of creative energy into, and so they may take it personally, and you have to be aware of that when you're speaking with them. So that's the gist of it. There were a few other key points in there, but as a summary, that's the basic premise, and I think it could fully be summarized by saying, be happy, be positive when you're talking, and work with them to help build the trust that way.
I had a talk on mobile automation, what to automate and what not to automate. And the biggest thing about that is, as companies shift left because of Agile and other reasons, they really want to know how to automate effectively in a mobile world. So we talk about things that we want to concentrate on to automate, and things that it's probably better left alone for manual testing. And again, part of the Shift Left initiative is how to leverage open source tools to really get that quick automation, that quick ROI that you need to make sure you can work within the whole team.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Bodine and I work with TAP QA Inc. We are an organization that actually specializes in testing and quality. And I spoke on at this conference around leadership and managing change. We all know with the Internet of Things, all the changes taking place right now around testing and quality, there's a lot of change involved. And so what I try and help participants in the classes do and people that I speak with is understand how to manage that change in the best format possible to make those changes stick with the people in the organizations and to make sure that those changes are impactful and helping them shift left, get quality more involved up front in the process, make sure they're a part of the changes, make sure they're aware of what's needed, and a part of the overall team and organization that's trying to make change inside of their organizations. I actually have another session that we haven't given yet that's coming up on talking about testing transformation and how testing has changed over the last 10, 20, 30 years and how it's evolving. It's very interesting to me that today a lot of organizations have seen the need for testing and quality. They're spending more money on it, and they're realizing that they need testers and the QA folks involved from the beginning of the process. So we'll talk a lot about that this week.
Hi, I'm Beth Wisdom. I'm a Senior QA Manager at Ulta Beauty, located in Bolingbrook, Illinois. At Quest 2016, I shared leadership strategies in order to mitigate the risks and the challenges associated with managing cross globally distributed teams for effective communication, repeatable process, and operational efficiency. So it is if there are no oceans or miles or time zones across your teams. That enables you to react quickly to changing conditions and shift left, test quickly and test often.
My name is Mike Ennis, and I was a presenter for Emotional Intelligence, teaching managers how to transition from being an individual contributor to being an effective manager using a lot of the techniques from emotional intelligence such as self-awareness, social awareness, social skills, etc. And how this fits in terms of shift left, well, just like from a quality perspective, our goal is to try to understand the cause of defects. Same thing applies from an emotional intelligence perspective. If we can understand our motivations, how we do things, why we do things, and the things that are important in order to understand how to work better with people, that's going to help our organizations be a lot more effective. So the shift left mentality still applies whether we're talking technical or from a emotional intelligence perspective.
Hello, my name is Bernd Heber and I work for Accenture. I'm an executive in the North America Accenture testing practice, and I'm responsible for a large part of a industry group within the North America testing practice. Why I'm here today? Well, I did teach a course today. It talks about how do we create a business case for testing operations. So just imagine you have about 15 minutes in front of a senior executive of a company, let's say a senior vice president or a CIO, and you only have those 15 minutes to make a very compelling case how you could help this organization to improve our testing maturity. So what it comes down to is a really compelling business case. What does it have to do with shift left? Well, one big lever of creating a business case for testing is quality. And we all know that just testing the quality out of a system is not the answer. The answer is shifting the quality to the left or upstream, starting with testable requirements, starting with mature processes that you can put in place. What does that have to do with the business case? Well, you can quantify all these activities and efforts, add them all up, and put them together in a business case, and then present to this executive. Once you're done and you present the right numbers, guess what? He will say, please come back next week and present a detailed proposal to me. That's what it's all about. Thank you.